Juicy topic on today's episode of Dolphins Today. Did the Dolphins make a mistake by paying Tua Tagovailoa that 4-year contract extension before the 2024 season? We're going to talk all about it and give you my thoughts on today's episode. But first, I want to know yours. Type Y for yes or type N for no. I am Nic Rohloff. This is Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. And if you could not tell by the title and you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, I do believe it was a mistake by Chris Grier in this front office to ultimately give Tua Tagovailoa that 4-year contract extension prior to the 2024 regular season getting underway. And if you need a refresher on what the contract actually was, it was a 4-year, $212.4 million contract with $167 million guaranteed. And I do also want to bring this back because I'm a man of the people. I am not going to hide. I'm not doing anything to kind of shed and give myself a nice little cover from what might come here. I won't lie. I was in favor of the deal at the time. I thought the contract in terms of length, the guarantees, the average annual value, as well as getting an actual contract extension done was the right move at the time. But I ultimately, like every single person in the world, should be able to admit when they were wrong. And I do think I was wrong in thinking this was the right decision. I was scared and afraid that if Tua was not paid, he would go out there, play another full 17-game regular season, lead the league in passing, and maybe put up even better numbers, and then ultimately ask for more money because you got him at $53 million. I thought there was a chance it could be $57, $58 million per season if he didn't get paid and went out and balled up again. But obviously, that was not the case. And as you look into the career of Tua Tagovailoa, and more specifically into the last 4 seasons, one thing is very, very similar in terms of happening every single year, right? He doesn't play 17 games. He's done it once. Of course, he did it the year leading up to potentially getting a contract extension. I'm telling you, I would, if I was a GM, just field a full 53-man roster of players in contract years. I think you would never lose. I'm being serious. You would never lose. They play so hard. They treat their bodies better than ever. And you just see the regression here. Sure, the completion percentage and QB rating slightly went up, but the yardage, the touchdowns, the interceptions, like it's not impressive. And the part that's the worst is that he only played in 11 games. He was not able to stay on the football field. He missed 4 games due to a concussion, missed the final 2 games due to a hip injury. And it's unfortunate because I truly believe that Tua does some things at an elite level. Like, is there a better football player in the National Football League in terms of processing the field post-snap? I don't know if there is. The way he gets through his reads and is able to quickly figure out what the defense is doing and know where to go with the football is second to none. The issue is he has no mobility. He has no ability to stay on the football field. His durability is a major concern, and he's not mobile because of that durability and concussion history. It's concerning, and that's the part that really holds him back. For example, we've got the AFC and NFC championship games coming up this Sunday. Who are the 4 quarterbacks left in the league? Jalen Hurts, Jayden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. It's a new NFL, folks. Are you noticing a theme here between these 4 quarterbacks? Because I certainly am. And if you really just go back to everything that has transpired over the past 2 or 3 seasons, this is no longer a straight drop-back quarterback in the pocket beat you league. This is a league that is dependent on having a quarterback that can extend plays with his legs, beat you on 3rd downs and 4th downs, and in these money situations by extending plays and using their legs as a physical runner. Guess what? The Dolphins don't have that, and you see here over the last couple of seasons how the shift in the NFL has begun. You've seen it happen. And teams that have not been able to get over the hump but have been there late, Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, the Cincinnati Bengals, they don't have a mobile quarterback compared to the Mahomes of the world, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, the Jayden Daniels in his rookie season. It's going to be something that Dolphins fans, I know you guys have recognized it, but it looks even worse in hindsight knowing that you're paying Tua the 4-year contract that you are. And we'll have more on the conversation here, but make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are putting out 1 or 2 videos every single day surrounding the Miami Dolphins here in the offseason. We also are going to be live later today for our Tuesday live show. So hit that sub button. Join us here because we are the #1 Miami Dolphins YouTube channel on the platform. So don't miss out. Join our stuff. I mean, I kind of just mentioned it, but I want to hammer it back home. If you want to win playoff games in January and ultimately that big playoff game in February, you need to have a quarterback that can extend plays and be an asset with their legs in short yard situations. Look at what Jayden Daniels has done on 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s, 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 3s. Josh Allen inside the 5 as a red zone quarterback. We know what Jalen Hurts has been doing. These quarterbacks are physical. They're not afraid to run the ball and get physical while they're running it. Their offensive coordinators and play callers give them the rock in these situations. And Miami is just simply unable to do that. It's holding them back with Tua Tagovailoa not able to be that mobile quarterback. And when you really think even more in depth about how impactful it is for their respective football teams to have that as a quarterback, the 4 QBs left on the league. When I looked at their rushing first downs, how many times with their legs, whether it's a QB sneak, QB scramble, QB design run, did they pick up a first down? Well, it is no surprise to me that 3 of the 4 are 1, 2, and 3. Hurts is first, Daniels is second, Allen is third. 3 of the 4 quarterbacks, 1, 2, 3 in terms of picking up first down with their legs. And you saw Mahomes there still in the top half. But he is just so otherworldly at this moment. He doesn't need to rely on his legs because he can beat you outside the pocket throwing the football or inside the pocket throwing the football. And when you compare those numbers you just saw on screen to Tua Tagovailoa, it is not really comparable. Tua Tagovailoa only ran for 5 first downs all season long. That is 39th amongst NFL quarterbacks. 39! Guys, there are 32 starters, which means there are about 7 guys that are backup quarterbacks that ultimately ran for more first downs than Tua, including Drew Lock, including your own backup, Tyler Huntley. It is a clear deficiency of Tua, and it's holding back him as a player with this Dolphins offense. We'll explain more in just a second. But we are sponsored by Game Time, the #1 ticketing app out there. And if you want to go see a live event, comedy show, concert, sporting event, Game Time is the best place to get your tickets. They have the lowest price guaranteed. They specialize in last-minute tickets as well. And when they have so many great features, one of them being Game Time Picks, which curates to make it so much easier to find better value for tickets to sports, concerts, comedy shows, theaters. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You also get a full panoramic view of your seat in the app before you buy, all-in pricing. When you toggle that feature, it shows you the total price of your ticket up front, rather than getting blindsided by fees at checkout. Like, I use Game Time religiously. The last time I bought tickets was to go to Christmas Timberwolves Mavericks basketball, and I used Game Time. And I had the best experience possible. I had no hassle. I didn't have to worry about a thing. So you can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. When we get back to the Miami Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa, there is a honest truth when talking about this football team, in this offense specifically with Mike McDaniel. The Dolphins have a 2-dimensional offense. Maybe. It's maybe not even 2-dimensional because of how bad the running game was this season. But when you think of the 3 teams and the 4 teams left, they are 3-dimensional offensively. And what do I mean by that? How can there be 3 dimensions? You only run the ball or throw the ball. Yeah, I get that. But then when you add in the QB powers, you add in the read options, the RPO game. And sure, the Dolphins implement the RPO game, but they don't have a threat with Tua running the football. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep on doing it. When you reference the 4 quarterbacks remaining that are still playing football, the one thing in common is that they petrify opposing defenses with their running ability. And you could include some of the quarterbacks that were eliminated this weekend as well. C.J. Stroud can run the football. I mean, he's had over 30, 40 rushing yards in the first 2 playoff games. I mean, you see quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson. Like, they make opposing defenses have to game plan the quarterback. When you force an opposing defense to spy you, to contain you, that only allows your other playmakers to have more space and opportunity to make plays. Like, adding a quarterback that can run the football just adds so many different layers to your football team, which is why Tua's holding back this offense just slightly because of that ability or inability to run the football due to his injury concern. And I'll say this as well, folks. If you don't have a mobile quarterback, you know what you need to have to kind of counteract that? Oh, you need to have an elite offensive line. Well, if you're new to the channel, and if you're new to watching Dolphins football, they're shooting 0 for 2 on that too, folks. They don't have a mobile quarterback, and boy, oh boy, we know for 1,000% certainty, they do not have an elite offensive line. Some more numbers to back it up, because I wanted to come prepared today for the people in the comment section. When you looked at the top offenses in football last year, there is something that should stand out to you. On the left is the points per game. On the right is where they were graded by Pro Football Focus as a run offense. It's the run grade. And if you look on the left, the 5 highest teams in terms of points per game either have a mobile quarterback or they're top 10 in football running the ball. The Lions have an elite offensive line. The Buccaneers had a really good running attack with Rachaad White, Bucky Irving, Tristan Wirfs in their offensive line. You see the Eagles. You see the Packers. The one really anomaly on this top 10 list was the Cincinnati Bengals, being the 6th highest scoring team in football, but being a bottom 5 team running the football. But it's not really an anomaly because what happened with the Cincinnati Bengals? Oh, yeah, they're the only team on this 10-team list not to make the postseason. So you need to be able to run the football if you do not have a mobile quarterback. Most of these teams on this list do have a mobile quarterback, all but 2, Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was able to have a good run game. They made the postseason. Cincinnati wasn't. They missed the playoffs. Very cut and dry here. Either need to have in this day and age in the NFL, you need to either have an elite offensive line so you could run the football, straight I formation, single back handoffs, or you need to have a mobile quarterback to make and extend plays with their legs. And with the 2025 season approaching, Tua Tagovailoa is going to still be under contract. Do you have faith in Tua next season as the Miami Dolphins quarterback? I got to be honest, I have a pretty good feeling about how you guys are going to feel down in the comment section, but let me know your thoughts on the matter right now. No matter how you feel on the Tua Tagovailoa quarterback situation, there is one absolute certainty. Tua is going to be the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins in 2025. He will be back. So for all the people in the comments, because I read them, I see them in the live show on Tuesday as well, that say, trade Tua, draft Cam Ward, trade Tua, draft Shedeur Sanders, trade Tua, draft Jackson Dart. Not me saying you can't draft a Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe on day 2 of the NFL draft or day 3 if the right guy slips to you, but Tua is going to be the starting quarterback in 2025. So if you have any other aspirations, get them out of your head right now. It's not going to happen. And I would make the argument that there's no chance he's not the starting quarterback in 2026 as well. Because when you look at the Tua contract situation, we showed the extension. Year 1, by the way, is 2025. You really can't get out of that contract until 2 seasons. You can stomach it. You can. The dead cap that would come your way after 2026. So I would expect Tua to be the starting QB in the 305 for 2025 and 2026. I cannot guarantee anything past that, and I hope that we don't have to talk about this because he proves everyone wrong, plays 17 games, and balls out next season. The Dolphins are back in the playoffs and hopefully snap the 24-year playoff drought of winning a game. That would be the most ideal situation here. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, and I don't anticipate that being the case. So which makes the next offseason so interesting. I looked at the free agent quarterbacks. They're bad, folks, so don't expect to sign a quarterback in 2026 to replace Tua Tagovailoa or in between the 25-26 season. But what you can do is look towards the 2026 NFL draft. That is where I think Miami may start to kind of game plan for their next quarterback if Tua Tagovailoa is not meeting their requirements. Kind of what the Packers did with Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers, was he ready to get out of there in Green Bay? No, he had 2 or 3 seasons left before he was finally pushed out. But they drafted a guy they liked that their scouting department thought they could develop, which ultimately he did for Green Bay. So I wouldn't anticipate it this year of drafting the Tua replacement in 2 to 3 seasons potentially. But next year in 2026 NFL draft, oh yeah, there's some good quarterback prospects available. Nico, I'm not even going to try the last name, from Tennessee. You got some other guys as well, like Arch Manning if he ultimately comes out. Like, I'm not going to speculate now, but there are going to be quarterbacks that will be worth taking in the first round, and we'll see where Miami's picking in 2026. That offseason is going to be very fun. In between 25 and the 26 season, I would expect the Dolphins to potentially address quarterback long term, which is why you need to be subscribed to the channel, because not only are we going to have you covered with the best Miami Dolphins coverage all off season long and in 2025 as we did for 2024, but we'll be here for 2026 as well. So hit that sub button, join us here at Dolphins Today.